Hey guys, this is thrazznos. I'm bringing you a second game between me and JaTo. This is the game for the GeForce Amateur Tournament. This game was played back on June 7th. If you haven't already seen, the first game I already casted, so go check that out if you haven't already seen it yet. It's going to affect how I played in this game a little bit. I say game 2. I don't know why I started doing that, but I mentioned I probably shouldn't say the game number because it's weird. He agrees. Alright, so we're all in agreement that doing that is weird and I'm not going to do it anymore. So, yeah, I'm glad we got that cleared up. So yeah, this map is Metalopolis, and we're spawning in cross positions. He's in the 12 o'clock and I'm in the 6 o'clock. And still, I am not giving up on the idea that this guy may cheese me. Guru said he got cheesed by him, and I've actually seen it a lot recently. So you can see I'm sending out a very early 9 probe. Well, that's not very early, but that's earlier than I normally do. So ignore the chat here. That's why I'm scouting out early, because I want to see if he is 6-pooling me, which he is. Or maybe it's an 8-pool, something like that. Something really early. So yeah. Good thing I didn't stop expecting that just from the last game. I figured he probably would cheese me, and here he is cheesing me. Not a bad thing to do if you are behind one game, although it can be, because if I was behind one game I would cheese someone, so I'm expecting it. So there we go. I can see that he already has a spawning pool up, and he's got 6 slings on the way, and he's only got 9 drones. So, as I can see that, dropping down a second gateway immediately to do the full wall off. Well, not full wall off, but wall off with a, zealot, and he just runs his zerglings past me and decides he's going to kill the probe, or he's going to try to kill the probe. But, the jig is up now. I know he's fast pulling me. He's just got more drones and a queen coming on the way. He's going to see if he can do lots of damage with this, but honestly, he really should be, well, not entirely wrong. If I didn't know he was doing this, I would keep making zerglings for him. But since he knows it's coming, we might as well do something with these. Although we really shouldn't throw them away like this. Oh, he's gonna see how much damage he can do. And ta-da! I've got it walled off because I prepared myself. Not only that, I have a bunch of probes ready to back up here still. So bunch of zealots on the way. Bunch of zealots. And I'm just going to keep trying to pick off these zerglings over here. And it looks like he's trying to switch back to some kind of economic build. So, I mean, I may have 16 probes, but a bunch of them are sitting here committed to this defense here, and they're actually honestly dying, which is totally lame. But I got another zealot out, so, I mean, I'm doing okay. Zealot picks off all but the last 2 zerglings. I got 2 zealots now. And I'm going to go finish off these zerglings with my probes, although I don't want to leave my probes off the line too long. So now I'm only barely ahead of him. Well, I mean, I have extra fighting units, but I mean, our worker count is about the same. And he's watching me. And I don't have a cyber core up, so I can't kill his overlord to stop him from watching me. So nothing I really do about that at the moment. But I can see when he expands. That's what I got this probe out here for. So now he's passing me in the worker count. He killed a bunch of my workers, which is totally lame. And he's going to drop down a roach warren for a kind of a... going to take sort of a defensive turn here, I think. The 6-pool has failed. He needs to turn to something a little bit more strong, even if it's not necessarily super aggressive. And I'm in a great position because now I got 4 zealots, and I'm equal on the worker count, and he's sort of behind. So he's going the roach just to kind of back himself up. Now, normally what you do if you're doing 6-pool is you would try to do as much damage as you can with the original 6 to 10 to 15 zerglings. Build a roach warren, start building a bunch of roaches, and the idea is you do enough damage right off the bat to be able to do a finishing blow with the roaches. But that's not really what he's doing here, because he didn't keep making zerglings, he didn't keep making roaches, he kept making drones. So I don't think that's what he's doing. And as I can see now, he has... Hopefully I can see. I haven't seen yet that he's expanded, so... I'm going to go find out right now. I got 5 zealots on the way. And my cyber core is up, and I'm trying to get some gas so I can start researching warp gates over here. He's got more gas than I do. He's been mining off gas this whole time, though. And going to the production tab here. Still haven't started warp gates, but now I can see that he's starting to stack roaches. which is a problem for my zealots because roaches can kite zealots, so I've got to get off this creep here. This isn't going to do me any good. If he didn't have those 2 roaches, I would be able to do a lot of damage to those drones. But he's kind of in a bad spot. So I'm just going to suffice to sit here and attack this hatchery to kind of bait these roaches out and see if I can do some damage to them. And I just got more probes coming. Focusing really heavily on what these zealots are doing over here. So now he's got a much larger force than I do, so I got to get out of here. I do not want to lose these zealots. And I've got 2 more on the way over here. Try to back up. This is a foolish idea trying to kill these guys, to be honest, because I'm not going to do that much damage. Especially since I've got more zealots on the way right there. But that's okay. I can make bad decisions in game. I'm nervous. So finally got my warp gate coming on the way. And then sitting on a decent amount of probes. These zealots are just running away over here. And he's dropping down some spine crawlers to help defend his expansion over here, which isn't a bad idea because all I really have are zealots for the time being. And I won't really be able to bust down a couple spine crawlers until I have a lot of stalkers, or until I have immortals or colossi. So a good move on his part, very good move. And I'm going to move my drone over here to start, I mean not my drone, my probe, to do some proxying. I'm going to check to see if he has a 3rd over here. And he's got a lot more roaches on the way. Looks like he's planning on being a little bit aggressive here. He honestly should be droning because I don't have that many units, but he doesn't know that. So he's just being a little bit overly defensive, dropping his spine, creating a bunch of roaches. I see that he's got a lot of roaches here, so that's not going to do me any good. And now I'm going to take a short route and lose some units. Production tab. The warp gate's almost on the way. Created a warp prison there, changed my mind, and switched to an immortal instead. I mean, I got this proxy pylon, so there's really no point in having a warp prison. Unless I plan on warping in right in his worker line, which isn't the best idea with how many roaches he has. Still only running off of 2 gates, although finally getting ready to drop my my 2nd expansion here. And now I'm starting to lose my my advantage that I had earlier. I mean, as you could see, I mean, I was a slight advantage at least. I mean, I held off the cheese fine, which is great. That was my biggest concern at first. And then I was a little bit ahead, and now I've kind of let myself fall behind. So that was an excellent move, definitely because he did the roaches. And I'm a little bit ahead in the workers, but yeah, I'm starting to fall behind now. Now I'm working to get my expansion up, and now I'm running heavy stalker because I see he's running heavy roaches. He's got a much larger army than I do, or at least it seems that way. Army supply, yeah, he's definitely sitting at a lot higher than me, almost about 150% of mine. These stalkers will do a lot of damage against these roaches though, so that's really useful. And if I can keep these zealots on the very front line. I also have an immortal here. So his roaches definitely should be very scared of me. I'm surprised he's not making zerglings at this point, because that would be an excellent counter to the build I currently have. And I'm sure he's probably actually waiting for burrow at this point, because it's almost done. He's just trying to hold off just a little bit longer for this burrow. This is actually something I don't see a lot of Zerg players do, which is why I didn't expect it. But now he can use burrow to heal up these roaches super fast because they have rapid regeneration. And his army is definitely starting to outnumber mine. And I am just trying to load up my 2nd here. I should be doing a worker transfer since it's so saturated, but I'm not. Or at least not yet. Finally got my 3rd gate up here. Doing a little bit of pressure up here. Killing a couple roaches, but not really. And these immortals, now I got 2 of them, and they do so much damage versus these roaches. Oh my gosh. Microing this immortal away. He's running really low on health, though. He's going to get sniped by the roaches, and these roaches are actually going to look like they're going to be a lot stronger than this force. Sniping off the 2nd immortal, and now I'm in big trouble. I need to get out of here. Or I'm just going to lose all of these units. Warped in a couple more. But it's a lot of roaches. Although now we got about an even fighting force at this point. So I'm foolishly waiting till he gets to the top and trying to focus fire down these bigger roaches here. No, they're doing too bad. And dropping down 2 more gateways. He sees these gateways. He sees they've expanded at this point. But I got a lot of units here. And now he's switching over to the Spire. So he's doing a little bit of a tech switch. He's been going heavy roaches here because he absolutely had to. But as you can see, he's got 4 gases now. And he's starting to stock up on the gas, and it's going to be very useful if he tries to go Muta. I'm going to try to sneak around here and see if I can pick up this queen, do some damage to some of these drones. Or mostly just drones is my target, not the extractors, because doing damage to drones is always a high priority because then they have to replace them with Larva, and they don't get to make fighting units, so it's kind of a double doozy there for them. And here comes some more roaches to go help these guys out, and now I've got to run away. More stalkers on the way, though. And dropping a forge for myself. And now this saturation is pretty saturated. Still haven't done a worker transfer over here, so this base is going to get mined out really fast. And this base is partially saturated. I'm going to try to do a complete wall off over here with this pylon, so I don't get hit by a Zergling run by. And just constantly keeping pressure on his front line over here with these stalkers. And as you can see, I actually have a worker advantage on him at this point, so I mean, I'm still feeling fairly confident. Warping in some more zealots, I'm going to try to kind of move in for the finishing blow here. Actually, what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on moving these zealots around and attacking these drones, but actually that was a mistake. I should have not done that, because now all of these guys are going to die to these roaches, or at least a lot of them are. And he's just going to micro the drones away, so big mistake on my part. I had a large advantage and I just kind of threw it away by attacking these drones. And now I can see that he's got some Mutalisks on the board, though. So I got a lot of Stalkers and an Immortal. Finally I'm dropping down some cannons to help protect this expansion. Always a really good idea for Protoss to at least drop a couple, because it just makes your defense so much stronger.